In the context of basic philosophy of the Constitution, which of the following is are the functions of a Constitution? It provides a set of basic rules that allow for coordination among members of society. It specifies who has powers to make decisions in a society. It sets limits on what a government can impose on its citizens. Select the correct answers using code given below. The correct answer is answer D. Claims of the members of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes shall be taken into consideration consistently with the maintenance of the efficiency of administration in the making of appointments to services and posts in connection with the affairs of the union or a state. This provision was provided in the Indian Constitution under option C, part XVI. Which of the following are the features of fundamental rights? They strike a balance between individual liberty and social control. There are some fundamental rights that are available against the arbitrary action of private individuals. There are some fundamental rights that are available only to the citizens. All the fundamental rights are self executory. The correct answer is A. Option 1, 2, 3. With reference to the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, consider the following statements. It is the world's largest government funded healthcare program. The beneficiaries under the scheme will be identified on the basis of the socio-economic caste census 2011. National Health Authority is the nodal agency for its implementation. Which of the following statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, all 1, 2, 3. Consider the following statements regarding the recently released Global Economic Prospects Report. It is released by International Monetary Fund. It is released once a year. The correct option is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Consider the following pairs. Fourth schedule allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha to the states and unions. Sixth schedule provisions relating to the administration control of scheduled areas. Tenth schedule provisions relating to disqualification of the members of the parliament. Which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? The correct answer is option C, 1 and 3. Which of the following ozone depleting substances? Methyl bromide, hydrobromofluorocarbons, carbon tetrachloride, methyl chloroform. The correct option is option D, all four. Which of the following recommendations of the Swaran Singh Committee is incorporated in the Constitution under fundamental duties? Option B, duty to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Which of the following is not a function of the CBI? Option B, probe terror attacks including bomb blast, hijacking of aircraft, ships, attack of nuclear installation and use of weapons of mass destruction. With reference to the Universe Serial Bus USB Type-C connector in news recently, it is a double-sided connector with reversibility. It is not backward compatible with previous USB types. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. In the context of historical underpinnings of the Indian Constitution, which of the following act introduced ordinances for the first time? The correct option is option B, Indian Councils Act of 1861. The directive principles of state policy laid down in Part 4 of the Constitution cannot in any way override or abridge fundamental rights guaranteed by Part 3. On the other hand, they have to conform and to run as a subsidiary to the fundamental rights laid down in Part 3. But the fundamental rights could be amended by the Parliament by enacting constitutional amendment acts. In which of the following cases did the Supreme Court hold this opinion? The correct option is option A, Champakam Dorai Rajan case 1951. With reference to the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution, consider the following pairs. The correct option is option B, one pair only. In which of the following judgments Supreme Court held that the harmony and balance between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy is a part of basic structure? Option is 14 C. Minerva Mills case. With reference to Bose-Einstein condensate, often termed as fifth state of matter, which of the following statement is are correct? Only third. It can be used in creation of atomic lasers and atomic clocks. Consider the following statement with respect to freedom from taxation for the promotion of a religion. The option is option A only. State should not spend the money collected by way of tax for the promotion of any particular religion. Which of the following statement is are correct with regard to the consequences of proclamation of financial emergency? Correct option is option D. All of the above. Center acquires full control over the state in financial matters. President may reserve all money bills or other financial bills for consideration after they are passed by the legislature of the state. President may issue directions for the reduction of salaries and allowances of the judge of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Which of the following has the power to admit a new state into a Union of India? A. Parliament. Which of the following are the advantages of parliamentary democracy? 1. Responsible government. 2. Wide representation. Harmony between legislature and executive. Which of the following provisions of the Constitution ensure political equality? A. 1 and 3. Elections based on adult suffrage. No eligibility. No ineligibility for inclusion in electoral rolls on grounds of religion, race, caste, or sex. Consider the following statements regarding the amendment procedure of the Constitution of India. D. Neither one nor two. A constitutional amendment bill cannot be introduced by the nominated members of the Lok Sabha. A constitutional amendment bill that seeks to amend the federal provisions of the Constitution must be ratified by the legislature, half of the states by a special majority. Consider the following statements with respect to the right to equality. The correct option is option B. Where equals and unequals are treated differently, Article 40 does not apply. Equality before law is a positive concept which means the absence of any special. It is wrong. Which of the following are the unitary features of the Indian Constitution? All of them. Single Constitution, emergency provision, all India services, integrated election machinery, appointment of governor. Which of the following rights abolished untouchability and prohibits its practice as a fundamental right? The correct answer is answer B, right to equality. Consider the following statements regarding the State Human Rights Commission (SHRC). The correct answer is answer A only. The Commission has no power to punish the violators of human rights, nor to award any relief including monetary relief to a victim. Submits annual reports to the governor of the state. It is wrong. Which one of the following is the best description of tidal disruption event that was seen in the news recently? The correct answer is it is the destruction of a star by a black hole. Articles 358 and 359 of the Indian Constitution deal with which of the following situation? The correct answer is answer A. Proclamation of national emergency under Article 352. Which of the following services at present are regulated under Information Technology, Intermediate Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Codes Rules 2021? The correct answer is answer C 1, 2 and 4. Over social media sites, over the top streaming services and digital news sites. Consider the following statements. In the USA, a citizen by birth as well as a naturalized citizen is eligible for office of president. In India, only citizen by birth and not naturalized is eligible for office of president. The correct answer is option C. Both are incorrect. In the context of the Indian Constitution, consider the following statements regarding fundamental duties. The correct answer is option C. Both are correct. Fundamental duties are confined to the Indian citizens only. Constitution does not provide any legal sanctions against their violation. Which of the following are the fundamental duties under Part 4A of the Constitution of India? The correct answer is option B. To develop the spirit of inquiry and reform, to respect the national flag and the national anthem, to strive toward excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. To cast a vote, it's not a fundamental duty. 32. The proclamation of national emergency must be approved by both the houses of parliament within 2 months from the date of issue. It is wrong. If approved by both houses of parliament, the emergency continues for 6 months and can be extended to an indefinite period with the approval of the parliament. It is correct. The option is B. 32B. In the context of evolution of Constitution of India, which of the following are part of the basic structure of the Constitution? The correct option is option B 1, 3 and 4. Republic and democratic form of government, not presidential form of government, secular character of the Constitution, separation of powers. 34. C. Directive principles of state policy Irish joint sitting of two houses of parliament Australian constitution and fundamental rights are not taken from French, they are taken from US constitution. Which of the following directive principles of state policy were not added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976? The correct answer is option C 1 and 3. To provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. To minimize the inequality in income, status, facilities, and opportunities. It is there to take steps to secure part-time workers in the management of industries. Consider the following statement regarding the Government of India Act 1935. The correct option is option A. It provided for the establishment of All India Federation consisting of provinces and princely states as units. It introduced bicameralism in all the provinces. It is wrong. With reference to constitutional torts in India, consider the following statements. The correct option C both 1 and 2. In India, there is no legislation which governs the liability of the state for the torts committed by its servants. A court of law can award monetary compensation to the victim in such cases. In the context of various political systems in the prevailing in the world, which of the following are the characteristics of a democracy? The correct options is C 1, 2 and 3. In a democracy, the final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. The ruling party in power must have a fair chance of losing an election. Each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. The government is not limited by laws or it is wrong. Consider the following provisions under the directive principles of state policy as enshrined in the Indian Constitution. The correct answer is only 2. Organizing agriculture on scientific lines. Which of the following are liberal and intellectual? India was a pioneer when it comes to giving voting rights to the people. In the context of which of the following countries have universal after India? A. United States of America. Consider the following statement with respect to Constituent Assembly. Option is D. Neither one nor two. It was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The Constitution Assembly adopted national anthem and the national song in 1947. Consider the following statement regarding National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. The answer is two only. The original constitution did not provide for a separate national commission or for scheduled tribes. The conditions of service of tenure and office of members of the commission are determined by parliament. It is wrong. Which of the following designate bank as domestic system important bank? The correct option is option B, RBI. Which of the following rights are a part of the right to protection of life and personal liberty? The correct option is option C, 1, 2, and 4. Right to be driven out of state, travel abroad, freedom, right to prove. Which of the following statements is correct about right to education? The correct option is option D. This provision makes only elementary education and not higher education a fundamental right. It is one of the largest, most active volcanoes which has erupted again recently. It is located near world's largest active Mauna Loa. Which of the following is being described in the passage? The correct answer is option A, Mount Kilauea, with reference to the proclamation of national emergency under Article 352 imposed till now. Consider the following statements. The correct option is option C, 2 only. The first proclamation of national emergency was issued in October 1962 on account of Chinese aggression in the Northeast Frontier Agency. Recently, Global Risk Report 2023, an annual report based on Global Risk Perception Survey, was released. The correct option is option B, World Economic Forum. Consider the following statement with respect to terms contained in the preamble. The correct option is option B, 2. The ideals of justice in the preamble have been adopted from Soviet constitution. The term republic was taken from German. It is not taken from German. Which of the following bodies institutions are audited totally and directly by the CAG? The correct option is option A, two only, oil and natural gases. The PRANA portal was continuously in the news in recent time. Which of the following statements best explains its objective? It is a portal for monitoring of the implementation of National Clean Air Program. Under the Constitution of India, which of the following rights and privileges are conferred on the citizen of India denied to aliens? The option is option D, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right against discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Right to freedom of speech and expression, assembly, association, movement, residence, and profession. Right to serve as a judge in the higher judiciary. Right to contest for membership of the parliament and the state legislature. On a particular day, 150 members are present in Rajya Sabha at the time of voting. In this scenario, a constitutional amendment bill under Article 368 of the Constitution. The correct answer is option D. It cannot be passed without support of the at least 123 members. In the context of Constitution Assembly of India, consider the following pairs. The first pair is correct only. Union Powers Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru. Consider the following statement with respect to cultural and educational rights guaranteed by Indian Constitution. The correct option is C, both 1 and 2. The scope of Article 29 is not restricted to minorities only. All minorities shall have the right to establish and administer educational institution of their choice. Consider the following statements regarding the loss of citizenship under the Citizenship Act 1955. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. When a person renounces his Indian citizenship, every minor child of that person also loses Indian citizenship. When an Indian citizen voluntarily acquires citizens of another country, his Indian citizenship automatically terminates. Both options are correct. Consider the following statements with regarding to the respect to the State Human Rights Commission. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It can require it can inquire into violation of human rights only in respect of subject mentioned in state list and the concurrent list. If any case is already being inquired by the National Human Rights Commission, by the State Human Rights Commission does not inquire into that case. Which of the following statements is are correct regarding the vice chairpersons of Niti Ayog? The correct option is option C, only one. He is appointed by the Prime Minister. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to presidential system of the government? The correct option is option C, 1 and 3. The president is the real head of the government. The United States of America follows the system of presidential form of government. With reference to the production of millets in India, consider the following statements. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. They have low per hectare yields at the national level compared to wheat and paddy. Their production has decreased in India during last 2 decades. With reference to the Bureau of Indian Standards, consider the following statements. The correct option is option C. It is statutory body established under the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986. It is regulated under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. With reference to the National Investigation Agency (NIA) Amendment Act 2019, consider the following statements. The correct option is option A. The provisions of the Act extend to schedule offences committed in India or abroad that fact the interest of India. Which of the following are the federal features of the Indian Constitution? Dual polity, bicameralism, and written constitution, not integrated judiciary. In the context of methods of election in India, consider the following statements regarding the first past the post system. The correct option is option D, neither one nor two. The Indian constitution has prescribed the first past the post method of election. No, in this system the candidate needs to get more than 50% of it. Which of the following laws are enacted implementing the directive principles? 65D 1, 2, 3, 4. Payment of Bonus Act 1965, Contract Labour Regulation Act Abolition 1970, Bonded Labour System Abolition Act 1976, Equal Remuneration Act 1976. Which of the following are the ex officio members of the National Human Rights Commission? The correct answer is option D, 1, 3, 4, and 5. Chairperson National Commission for Backward Classes, Chairperson National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, Chairperson National Commission for Women, Chief Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities. In the context of defense sector, consider the following statement regarding the very short range air defense system missiles. 6. The correct answer is option A. It is portable surface to air missile. Consider the following statements with respect to the National Commission for Backward Classes. The correct option is option A. The National Commission for Backward Classes is a constitutional body. The commission present and both House of Parliament. No, it is wrong. 68. Consider the following statements with regarding to the extraordinary powers of the president when the president's rule is imposed in a state. The correct option is option B, 1 and 2. He can take up the functions of the state government and power vested in the governor or any other executive authority of the state. He can declare that the powers of the state legislature are to be exercised by the parliament. He can assume to himself the powers vested in the concerned state high court or suspended the provisions of the constitution relating to it. It is wrong. With reference to the sovereign green bonds, consider the following statements. The correct option is option 1 and 2. The bonds will be issued in maturity of 5 years and 10 years. They are eligible for trading in the secondary markets. As of now, NRIs are not allowed to invest in them. It is wrong. With reference to independence and impartiality of the Election Commission, which of the following statement is are correct? The correct option is option D. 1 and 3. The Constitution has not prescribed the qualification of the members of the Election Commission. The Constitution has specified the term of the Election Commission is wrong. The Constitution has not debarred the retiring Election Commission from any further appointment by the government. It is true. Consider the following statements with respect to the office of Lokayuks. The institution of Lokayuks was established in the first time in the Maharashtra in 1971. It is wrong. It is right. Sorry. It is right. Lokayukt of State is always appointed by the Chief Justice of High Court of Concerned State. It is wrong. The recommendations of made by the Lokayukt are only advisory and not binding on the state government. It is right. Consider the following statements regarding the District Disaster Management Authority (DDMA). 73. Option is C. The district magistrate is the ex officio chairperson of the DDMA. The chief executive officer of the DDMA is appointed by the state government. 74. Among the following constitutional amendments fall outside the scope of 368. The correct option is option B 1 and 2. Abolition of legislative council in the states, elections to the parliament and state legislature, election to the president. Consider the following statements regarding the Constituent Assembly of India. The correct option is option B 1 and 2. Provinces were allotted in the seats in proportion to their respective population. The representatives of the princely states were to be nominated by the heads of the princely states. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were conducted after independence. No. Which of the following languages are mentioned in the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India? Option is B 1, 3, 4 and 5. Not English. In the context of direct consider the following statement. The option is A, only one referendum is correct. Referendum procedure whereby proposed legislation is referred to the electorate for settlement by their direct votes. Consider the following statements. 78. Option A 2 only. Currently, India has 28 states and 8 union territories. 30 union territories and national exchequer are mentioned in the third schedule. No. With reference to green hydrogen, consider the following statements. One only. It is generated from natural gas or methane processed through called steam reforming. It is called grey hydrogen due to distinct grey smoke produced when no, it is not. It's wrong. In the context of evolution of Indian Constitution, which of the following acts for the first time separated provincial budgets from the central budget and authorized the provincial legislature to enact their budgets? The option is on B. Government of India Act 1919. Consider the following statement regarding the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. The option is A. One only. It is integrated food security scheme for providing free food grains to the Antyodaya Anna Yojana and primary household beneficiaries under National Food Security Act. They will also be getting food. No, it is wrong. 81. With reference to Advocate General for the states, consider the following statements. Option is B 2 and 3. He holds office at the pleasure of the government of state, enjoys all the privileges and immunities that are available to a member of state legislature. The advocate is fixed by the constitution. It is wrong. Recently, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India was in the news. FSSAI falls under which of the following ministries? Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that the doctrine of basic structure would apply to Constitution amendment after 24 1973 84B Vaman Rao case 1981. With reference to the principle of collective responsibility in India, consider the following statements. Judicial innovation are not mentioned explicitly under the Constitution of Province. It is mean the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the Parliament. Which of the following countries have the federal system of government? 1, 3, 4. India, Brazil, Mexico, not UK. Consider the following statement regarding the drafting committee of the Constitution. The option is A. It was constituted after independence. N. Gopal Swami Iyengar was the chairman of the. It is wrong. Consider the following statements regarding the Digital India Land Records Modernization Program. The option is C. 1, 2 and 1, 2. It is a central sector scheme under the Ministry of Rural Development. It aims to achieve computerization of land records, both 1 and 2. Consider the following statements regarding the Central Vigilance Commission CVC. Option is B. Two only. Vigilance commissioners are not eligible for further employment under the center or state lease allowances and other conditions of service. Vigilance commission are submitted because of chief wrong. Establishment was recommended by Rajmannar Commission for the prevention of. It is wrong. With reference to the Goods and Services Tax Council, consider the following statements. Both 1 and 2 are correct. The Goods and Services Tax Council is a constitutional body. Under Revenue Secretary acts as the ex officio secretary of the council. Consider the following statement with reference to the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It is a statutory body under the administrative control of the Ministry of Women and Child Development. It inquires into violation of child rights and takes suo motu notice of matters relating to deprivation of and violation of child rights. Consider the following statements regarding the Central Information Commission. The option is option C. The Central Information Commission is a statutory body set up under the Right to Information Act 2005. The commission consists of a chief information commissioner and not more than 10 informational commissioners. 93. The correct option is option C. Safeguard forest and wildlife. 48A. Consider the following statements with respect to preamble of the Constitution of India. Option is B, two only. It specifies justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity as the objective. It was not a part of the Constitution adopted on 6 November 1949. It was the first time recognized as part of the Constitution of Bureau of India in 1960. Recently, the Archaeological Survey of India discovered votive stupas at Nalanda Mahavira. In this context, consider the following statements regarding the Nalanda Mahavira. The correct option is option D, 1, 2, and 3. It was visited by both Hyun Sang and Itsing. It was patronized by both Gupta and Pala dynasty. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Article 51A of the Indian Constitution provides for the fundamental duties. In this context, which of the following acts have a bearing on the implementation of some of the fundamental duties? The correct option is option D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Prevention of Insults of National Honor Act 1971, Representation of People Act 1951, Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of 1967. With reference to the Chief Election Commissioner, consider the following statements. The correct option is option A, 1 and 2. The appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioner shall be made by the President. The Chief Election Commissioner and the two other election commissioners have equal powers and receive equal salary allowance and other prerequisites. Chief Election Commissioner holds his office till pleasure of President. It is wrong. Consider the following statements regarding the steps taken by the center to promote app-based payment systems. The option is option D, neither 1 nor 2. UPI Lite is an on-device wallet feature by the National Corporation of India to allow users to make 1,000. All non-resident with NRI accounts can use their UPI platform from their international mobile numbers. Wrong. 99D, 1, 2, and 3. DPSP are significant and useful because they serve as a common political manifesto. They facilitate stability and continuity in domestic and foreign policies. They act as an instrument of instruction to all the authority in the Indian Constitution. The directive principles of state policy are enumerated in Part 4 of the Constitution from Articles 36 to 51. In this regard, the framers of the Indian Constitution derive inspiration from each of the following: 100. Option D, 1, 2, 3, 4. The Irish Constitution, instrumentation Enumerated in Government of India Act 1935, Gandhian ideology, freedom struggle of India.